Ishan was living in his small house. He was hardworking and honest, but always compared himself to others. He was 24 years old, but unlike his childhood friends, he had no job, no business, and no sense of direction in life. Whenever he saw his friend, Kunal, who was very rich and traveling across cities, he thought, "I wish I had his wealth as him." Whenever he saw his neighbor's son, Veer, had secured a government job, he thought, "I wish I were as smart as him." Whenever he saw his younger is in a good shape, he thought, "I wish I had as lucky as him." Every time Ishan heard about someone's success, a deep frustration settled in his chest, his life slowly sinking into disappointment. He could not focus on his studies. He was losing interest in his work day by day. He felt like he never going to be successful. His parents, though supportive, were worried. His father often said, "Son, stop looking at others' lives. Focus on finding your own path." But Ishan couldn't stop comparing. It felt as if life had given everyone a purpose except him. One evening, while wandering aimlessly near the riverbank, he overheard two old men talking. One of them said, "The monk who came in our town last week has wisdom beyond years. They say he helps those who have lost their way. He thinks that this monk can help him understand why he felt so lost." The next morning, Ishan walked to Monk's place. A peaceful aura surrounded the place, with birds chirping and monks meditating in the background. The elderly monk welcomed him with a kind smile. The monk asked, "What brings you here, young man?" Ishan said, "Hey, wise monk, I am lost. I have no job, no achievements, nothing to be proud of. Everyone around me is moving forward while I remain stuck. It's unbearable." The monk listened patiently, then gestured for Ishan to follow him. They walked to a quiet garden behind the monk's place, where various plants grew: a towering mango tree, a delicate rose bush, and wild jasmine flowers. Pointing at them, the monk asked, "Which one is better?" Ishan said, "The mango tree is useful because it gives fruit, but the rose is beautiful, and the jasmine has a sweet fragrance. They are all different." The monk agreed with Ishan's answer, and then monk asked, "Why doesn't a rose try to bear mangoes or the jasmine stretch tall like the tree?" Ishan had no answer. The monk continued, "Because they understand their purpose. The mango tree will bear fruit when the time is right. The rose will bloom when it is ready. The jasmine will spread its fragrance when the season comes. They are not in a race. They grow at their own pace." Elder monk turned to Ishan and said, "You are like them. Your time will come. But instead of growing, you are standing still, measuring your worth by other successes. That is why you feel lost." Monk's word hits Ishan's heart. He had never thought of it that way. "But how do I find my purpose?" Ishan asked. The monk handed him a small mirror. "When you look at this mirror, what do you see?" "My reflection," Ishan replied. The monk smiled. "Now, if the mirror is covered in dust, can you see yourself clearly?" Ishan said, "No." Then monk explains, "That dust is your comparisons, your doubts, and your fears. Wipe them away, and you will see yourself clearly. Instead of thinking about what others are doing, start doing something. Take small steps. Try different things. Your purpose will reveal itself in time." Ishan felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his soul. Ishan returned to his town with a new perspective. He stopped measuring his life against others and started exploring his own interests. He learned carpentry, something he had always been fascinated by, and started making handcrafted furniture. Slowly, people began to appreciate his work, and he found joy in creating something of his own. Months passed, and while he wasn't the richest or the most successful person in town, he was finally at peace. In just some months, Ishan realized that he should not compare himself to others. Everyone has their own journey, and success comes at different times. He should focus on discovering his own path, and happiness will follow. One evening, as he polished a wooden chair, he caught his reflection in the mirror. He smiled. The dust was gone,